All right, Grasshoppers, it is that glorious, and I do mean glorious, time of the week when the one and only Mark Puttenvik, Mr. No Shirt, it's too cold for him now. We'll discuss why. We'll discuss his little trip to Wisconsin here a little bit. But again, Mark has a company called Patriot Training Systems. He trains everybody. He's worked for the Rangers, the Patriots, a lot of military training, housewives, kids, women want to train to box. You can do it all. Mark, how are you doing?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Excellent, man. Excellent. So we'll get into your discussion. First of all, we've got a Ranger Islander alumni game coming up. I got to find out the date for everybody, exactly when that is. So I've been on the ice a lot lately, but I've been teaching clinics all the time. So I'm more standing around.
Right.
And so I realized I better get skating a little bit. So we had the girls high school team that I'm helping to coach. We had practice Monday, so it must have been Saturday night around 5:30. So one girl was missing, so I got to go on one line with the girls. And I was like a little kid out there. It was so funny that I was going up and down. I'm hooting and hollering, and I'm coming to the corner. Because the girls have always seen me be very serious coaching. We joke around a little bit once in a while. But I was coming back to the line. I'm like, did you guys see me? Did you see me? They're all looking like, Coach, settle down. It's a hockey practice. So.
I hope you tucked a few in.
Well, we were doing this drill. If you're doing a weave drill, you've probably done it before. You get 3 players, 3 lanes, in and out. And then at the end of it, we only had we didn't have a goalie that night even. So we put one of those things where you had the one net upright, you had the other net on its side, trying to go top shelf all the time. So we were doing this drill where you work a drop pass and then pass over for a one-timer. And so I never got to be the one-timer, which is probably good if I would have fallen on my rear end. But so how was the trip to Wisconsin?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, I kind of dreaded it, not to do what we were going to do, but the travel part of it. Because, travel right now is just such a hassle. But it wasn't all that bad. And, we won. Winning isn't the ultimate thing for this Warrior project. Not Warrior project, but the Warrior division in USA Hockey. It's about the camaraderie and that. But it's also fun when you do win. And we won everything. So it was very cold.
Yeah.
I got up Saturday.
You're just standing around doing just coaching. Too,
yeah. I mean, Ted and I are just standing there, And the Saturday morning game, we had an 8 a.m. game. When I got up at 6, it was minus 18.
You sent me that screenshot of your phone.
Yeah. And then game time, it was a balmy minus 8. It had heated up to minus 8.
Wind chill or no?
No, thank God there was no wind. Because if there were a wind, I don't know if you'd be talking to me now. It was pretty tough. Yeah. But you know what's weird, Tom? You kind of do, like after a day, get used to it. It's as crazy as it sounds. I mean, you grew up in Canada, so you know what it's like. And what's really cool, we were like, I think only 10 to 20 miles below Canada. And everybody gets around. You see more people on snowmobiles than you do in actual cars.
Right.
So every road on each side, snowmobile trails.
Oh.
And then intermittently across the road, they put a strip of artificial snow across, because if they do plow and they have to get from one side of the road to the other, they drive across that.
Okay, so that's cool.
So it was pretty cool.
That's good thinking. I didn't realize it was that far north. You're just that close to the Canadian border.
So we flew into Green Bay, and it was still just about a 3-hour car drive from Green Bay further north to Eagle River.
Wow,
and it was interesting because Eagle River is a resort, summer resort. Not actually say resort, but summer resort for fishing and outdoors and all that. And I was talking to a sheriff there. He said the population in Eagle River is like a little over 1,600. But during the summer, over 200,000 people come through.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of like Traverse City, Michigan.
Yeah.
Kind of setup.
Traverse City. Yeah.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, though, 2 things. The Super 8 we stayed at, not quite so super. Yeah.
Was that the best hotel in town, too?
Well, you know what it is? I guess for that particular week, they probably make their whole income for the winter.
That's true, yeah.
Right?
Man.
And it's because you had, I think there were over 200 teams there.
Wow. And is this to raise money for your cause or anything, or no?
No. So Labatt Beer puts this tournament on, and it's been going on for quite a while. This is the first year that they had a Warriors division. So it was New Jersey. Detroit had 2 teams. They call themselves Motor City. And then Wisconsin, who we played in the finals or the championship game, so to speak.
And how competitive did they get?
It got pretty competitive, yeah. Because there's no boards, right? So it's 4-on-4, and you have only a 7-man roster,
right?
So it's 4-on-4, and the rule is if the puck kind of goes off into the snow, you allow the opposing team, they get possession, and you have to give them 2.5 stick lengths
Oh,
to get. Guys are like right on top of each other, checking each other into the snow. But I mean, they're all veterans, men and women, so they were all good with it, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of good interaction after the game between the vets. And then Saturday night we went out to a log cabin, got a really great dinner. It was kind of cool, Tom. Being in the woods and stuff like that. Yeah. It was fun.
Sad note: did we lose somebody? Did we lose one of the?
Yeah, Michigan unfortunately had lost another player to by his own hand, and it just drives home the fact that we really got to stay on top of as you and I and our friends, citizens, our civilians, I should say, try to support our veteran community as best we can.
Yeah. It's sad to say it's much worse in the veteran community, but just suicide in general.
Oh yeah.
I think, and you and I both are getting more and more involved in this mental health way of life, and you just see more and more people that are suffering pretty bad. And very often.
I read that young girls, I forget the ages, but like teenage girls, 50% increase through COVID. Do
you think I'm meeting a lot more people too suffering from depression and anxiety? Do you think it's being diagnosed more, or there actually is more depression and anxiety out there?
Probably a little bit of both. I think COVID really, because of the isolation and people losing so much. I mean, we lost 2 years, so it's kind of, kids, it's incredible when you think about it. Yeah. Wow. Kids not going to school, and some people losing their jobs because maybe the small business they own went out of business during COVID. It's been a very tough time. And I think that's why what we do, you and I do in terms of training, getting up every day early and trying to maintain that routine. And, we all know that the best remedy, not remedy, because it's not a cure, but the best remedy for depression and anxiety is to work out. Just get physical. It doesn't cost you anything either.
Yeah, keep moving. It's so healthy for you, so many mental and physical. And you've helped me learn a lot of stuff too about the connection between the mind and the body. And it seems like the more I do stuff like this and talk about it, the more people I meet of the same thought process. So I was in Chinatown yesterday. They had the Lunar New Year parade.
Oh, cool.
And it was interesting because a lot of local politicians, Chuck Schumer was there, but a lot of these politicians are getting up and talking about, I didn't realize how hard Chinatown had been hit because of COVID, the shops shutting down and everything. They talked a lot about that yesterday. And then on top of that, all the Asian hate crime too. So you can tell that community was really hurting. So
Royce, who you met, my instructor, he's Asian. And we often talk about this just really proliferation of anti-Asian violence. It's sickening. But there are some people in the city I know that are martial artists that are Asian, are starting to train up people in their community for free. Just say, hey, come on in. We'll show you, some things to help you protect yourself.
Right. I'm sure part of it is too, they look like they're easy targets too. Like most Asian people are they very modest, almost shy kind of people, and don't want to get anybody's way. And again, that's not every
culture. Yeah.
I've really gotten to know more Asian people, and that culture I'm really interested in. All their foods, the healthy way, all the kind of the customs that they have and everything. It's very interesting. Yeah.
It's fascinating. I many years ago, Tom. I bet you're going 20 some odd years ago. I saw a documentary about healthcare in China, and they use a lot of herbal remedies that go back literally thousands of years.
Sure.
And in a hospital, it's interesting. They showed nurses going down a hallway with a cart and having kind of like thermos bottles on, and they were different herbal remedies or herbal medicines, so to speak, for different conditions. And they even showed brain surgery while the patient was still awake. And they still, for that particular thing, because it's brain surgery, they did use 50% of Western medicine, so to speak, but a lot of it was herbal. But their culture, their way of life, and it's because it's a very old culture. There's a lot of history to it.
Yeah, that's cool. I agree. So you left? Was it last Thursday? And
we left. We headed out to Wisconsin Thursday. We had game Friday, Saturday, 2 games on Saturday, then a championship game Sunday, and then we got in the van. We drove back to Green Bay, and we went curling.
Oh, did you really? Was that
Let
the
me
first
tell
time
you,
curling?
did you ever? You probably been curling, right?
I never have. It's a huge
Tom,
thing. I
that
never did.
freaking workout, man. All that, the brooming or
Yeah.
whatever. It's not easy, and actually, to push off the blocks and slide the stone,
Yeah.
like it's not easy, man. You go over, you take a digger, you go flying all over the place.
You know,
But we had a blast.
it's on all
We
the
had
time
fun.
on TV. You can always get it someplace, but I never seem to watch it except when the Olympics are on. For some reason, I
Yeah.
love watching the Olympics. Yeah.
Yeah, watching it doesn't do it for me, but the actual participation. And so we got there. We had two coaches walk us through the rules and not
Right.
the rules, but how to play the game and what it meant. And it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I wonder where that. It's the Scottish thing, isn't it? Is that where it
I
was
don't
created?
know. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't really know a lot about it, but
For some reason, I don't know why, for some reason, the Canadians women's teams have always had the most beautiful women on
yeah.
curling team. I don't know what it is, but it's they talk about it up there. It's like I don't know if they're drawn to it or if it's what it is, but
Well, I guess in Canada it's like a bowling league, right? Like Thursday night you go curling and everybody's having beers and it's very competitive. Yeah.
there's a couple places around here, not very many, but there's a couple places around here.
You know, there's one in Ardsley.
Ardsley, yes.
Yeah.
There's one up in Bridgeport as well.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
We're
But it was not easy. It's a workout. Yeah. And, so you have the handle on it, right? So it's you either have the handle at 2:00 or 10:00. Right. And that'll dictate the rotation, either clockwise or counterclockwise. So, and, the guy teaching us, he's on the far end and he's saying, Mark, 2:00. I'm going, oh, it's like, but anyway, it's not easy, man. It's really just not easy.
The right pace, right, to get it to stop. We want,
yeah, and, you just don't know how much to, and sometimes it barely makes it there, and you kind of.
So are the conditions of the ice, it's always clean, right? They clean the ice and nobody.
Well, no, well, it's clean, yeah. But what they do is they actually spray it down because they want tiny little bumps on it.
Oh.
And it was interesting. I never knew this. And then I'm watching curling the other day, and they were talking about the surface, and I kind of, yeah. But yeah, they spray it like a mist, right? Oh. And it puts these little bubbles, and it actually helps, I guess, lay what they need for that type of surface.
Right. I guess like the flat stone on the bottom would stick more if it's just a flat surface.
So what happens is you have the stone, right? And then like it's only this much is actually on the ice. If you can understand, like if you're looking at the bottom of the stone, it's kind of hollowed out a little bit. So it's only like maybe I don't know, 8 to 10 inch circumference. And it's very small surface area. So the reason you do the brooming is it heats up the ice and it creates a little water. Right. And that'll make it glide even further.
Oh, very cool. Very interesting.
So,
did you guys know you were going to do that? Or was that kind of a surprise or what?
Ted put it all together. Ted, let me tell you something about Ted. Ted is an amazing, amazing administrator. He put all the flights together. He did all the hotels. He did the curling. And I said, gee, what do I supply here? Just the entertainment, I guess. But yeah, he did a great job. And I really, he did a fantastic job.
So he's the organizer. He's the one that's got the wife that's in construction, right?
Correct. Yeah. He went ice sailing yesterday. Oh. Go on his Facebook page. It looks really cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. All right. So we got a big playoff game coming up Wednesday with the Greenwich girls hockey team. So a big game. We're playing New Canaan, #1 team in the league. Mm-hmm. We've not beat them yet, but we've come a long way. We've played a lot better all the time. So,
hey, I got a great, speaking of 3-on-0 weave kind of thing, I got a great conditioning drill. It's really easy, but man, it's a killer. So you go down 3-on-0, you weave down, you take a shot. As soon as you take a shot, you hit your brakes. Everybody's got to stop on the goal line. Even if you're the third man high, you got to make it to the goal line. You stop. As soon as all three are on the goal line, 3 go the opposite direction. Now you got a back check, and it's tough. It's
tough. Just there's nobody. You're not really back checking anybody. You're simulating that you're back checking.
No. So soon as you go down 3-on-0 weave, shots taken. Everybody stops on the goal line. The moment you stop, the next 3 go the opposite direction. Okay. And you got to get on your horse and back check.
And then you continue to do it so the 3 that went now go down on the 3-man.
They come back the other direction, so it's constant back and forth.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
It's a tough drill. Guys hate it and girls will hate it, but it's really great conditioning.
We got practice day. We might incorporate that. That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. It's an easy, simple drill for them to get right away. Understand it. It's again, we don't want to look at the conditioning as punishment, right?
Yeah. Incorporate into drill.
Yeah.
So by the way, too, so we got a practice day at 3:45 to 3:15 to 4:45, and then I'm on the ice after with the Greenwich Junior Cardinals representing the Rangers. So
Nice.
I'll be on the ice for 5 hours today.
You're going to be in shape for this alumni game.
What's that, sorry?
You're going to be in great shape for the alumni game. You're going to be blowing by guys.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, the last time we had an alumni game was the one we played Boston. And I was up and down the ice, and the guys are going, "You're going to get tired, Tom. You're going to get tired." And that just drove me. The ego get going there. I said, "No, I won't. I get tired."
Those are fun though. Where is this game going to be?
You know what? I've got to find out. I was just told about it last week, and I didn't know the details. I think it's about 3 or 4 weeks.
I wonder if they're going to have it at UBS, the new rink.
It might be. Oh, it might be. I don't know.
So
a
young man I coached has been for quite a long time the head coach at Don Bosco, which is a prep school here, and they're always perennially one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the state for parochial hockey. And he's also with UBS, and they just played a game there Saturday. Don Bosco played Portledge, which is another prep school. It's real good hockey. I mean, these kids can play. It was a 2-1 game, right. And it was pretty cool because the kids got to dress in the visitor locker room, and it's quite an experience for them. Yeah,
nice. That's cool. Yeah. That is good. How is the training? You trained that young lady, the boxing. How's that going?
Really well. She's just, one of those people that just very athletic, pays attention, and she gets it. And now I've started to show her a little bit of martial arts stuff, and she's really liking that too.
Nice.
As well, I should say. And good, hardworking girl. And
good.
I don't know if I'd want to be her boyfriend now. Yeah.
So one of the things that we've talked about before is that like the motivational side of training, like always being up and into it. I think it's fair. I saw a great video the other day where a woman, obviously in great shape, and she says, somebody asked me how I always stay motivated. She says, well, I don't always stay motivated. It's a matter of fighting through those days where you're not motivated and still getting your workout done.
Right.
And I went through a period of time there, and I'm out of it now where, I was still getting good workouts. It was all right, but like not that really get down and really get nasty. Like I can even find myself doing the kettlebell swings now that I'm more into it. Again, kind of got the motivation back. I really feel like I'm getting more out of the kettlebell swings, like really tightening the core even more. Mm-hmm. Do you find that, Mark, first of all, do you find that yourself when you're training that you go through some times where there's some ups and downs?
Oh, frequently. And what I generally do then is I may take a day off or may do a light workout because that lack of motivation, for me at least, it doesn't last very long. And there's usually mitigating circumstances. Maybe I didn't get really good sleep the night before. Yeah. Maybe something's on my mind, a personal issue or whatever, or maybe you have a day you're so jam-packed with work, and for whatever reason you didn't get it in first thing in the morning, you just don't get to it. Right. That's Nathan Parrott calling back. But anyway, he's probably in a panic because what's going on up there. Nathan Parrott.
Yeah. Well, going up where?
Oh, he's in Ontario and all that stuff going on up there now.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but, there's some people not too happy about that with being able to access their bank accounts and everything. The government.
That's insane. It's I can't even. Yeah. But like Saturday, just for whatever reason, Tom, Saturday, I had so much energy. I was just going nuts. Right. I did my workout, then I went for a hike, took some great photos. It was really nice because it just had snowed, and then I got back through the woods, and there's this artificial field, turf, big field. And I just went out there and I just started doing wind sprints, and it was really windy. And I had my combat boots on. I'm all layered up. But I tell you, I went for like 30 minutes. I just had all kinds of energy. And again, you'll have those days where you're really jacked up. Another day, and the days you don't have that energy, don't worry about it. Either take the day off or find something that you enjoy and do a lighter workout of it. Like maybe you like the kettlebell swings. You say, you know what? I'm going to go for 8 minutes. Just break a sweat, get my heart rate up, call it a day.
And you know what I like too is when you have those off days and you power through it and you get the workout done, like you feel even better when it's done because you know you weren't at your best, right? That's why we kind of got ourselves in trouble a bit talking about not getting enough sleep. And Mark and I both believe in the science of sleep. There's no question about it.
Brendan Duffy has educated us.
Right. Yes. But having said that, on those days where you're not rested enough and you power through it like that, man, those are glorious days when you get done, right? You feel so good. Like, other people may have quit, or maybe you would have quit before, but you keep fighting through it. So,
for me, Tom, I find it's a good thing and it's a bad thing because sometimes you can't do it. But music gets me going.
Yeah, totally.
Music really, whether I'm doing a weight training or if I'm boxing. We used to spar. My friend Danny and I. We'd put James Brown on in the gym. Yeah, it's got a really good rhythm to it. And the beauty of it is if you catch a body shot and you don't want the dude to know he hurt you, you start dancing.
Yeah. Oh,
Kind
totally.
of play it off. But yeah, like
some music for whatever reason it's weird. Like I'll
Yeah.
listen like Kelly Clarkson for some reason. I've got her on my workout, and there's this
Yeah.
one song she's got. My son is like, "You listen to Kelly Clarkson?" It's just like there's a beat to it or something.
Right. It is the beat. It absolutely is the beat. Like ZZ Top gets me going, and Santana when you want to do some boxing or some martial arts, because it's kind of flowy. It's got a it's cool. Yeah.
I've got some Phil Collins too. There's this one song that builds up in the oh God, I can't remember the name of it. I'll find it though, but it's yeah, it is true. Like even I've got some great videos, like even TikTok. There's a certain TikTok videos that are very motivational, like the people's voices and everything. It's like get up, yelling at you. Yeah, that's fun.
Well,
like,
think about when you hit the ice in a game and the music's going. It gets you hit that ice, man. You're going 100 miles an hour. You're all jacked up to the music. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important to use that music. Yeah, get yourself fired up. Like even having those bad days, get that music going for you. Whatever it is that works for you. Works. How about there's a great song, "Bring Sally Up"? You ever work out to?
So we do push-ups and push-ups to it. I've only got to like I think Royce and I did it one day, and we only got like to a minute 40.
Right.
And it's like a 3-minute and some odd long song. And then I did it with pull-ups.
Oh,
so
wow.
instead of bring Sally up.
Yeah.
You got to hold it and then bring Sally down. Yeah. I don't even think I reached a minute. That was really difficult.
I want to finish that but Bill here got our song "In the Air Tonight." Phil Collins, "In the Air Tonight."
Yeah, great song.
That builds up and up, and it gets. And then all of a sudden the drum work comes in, and when I'm in the gym by myself, man, I'm fired up, and that's happening. But
you want to get jacked up? That Bring Sally Up, Tom. If you go on YouTube, there's like there's a whole bunch of it, but there's some Marine Corps guys doing it, and it's just like. Yeah, it's cool.
So for anybody that doesn't know, so "Bring Sally Up, Bring Sally Down." It was made not made famous, but they used it in that Gone in 60 Seconds, the movie. Cars. But so if you can work out to it, push-ups are fantastic. So when it says "Bring Sally Up," obviously you're in the up position. Push-ups, and then when you say "Bring Sally Down," you go down, but you have to hold it down there until they say "Bring Sally Up" again. So it is really something when you get a bunch of guys together fighting it out and trying to finish that whole song. That's a great workout.
Then there's a couple bridges. Like where's the pause? Like "Bring Sally Down." And you're like, okay, can we go back up now? Yeah. You're waiting. Yeah.
It is. That's great. We're going to try that. And pull-ups would be tough. That'd be a good one. Ooh.
They were brutal. They were really tough. Yeah.
So have you gotten through the whole song doing the push-ups?
No, I think I only made it to like a minute 40 or something like that. It's not easy, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's funny because you start off doing it and think, okay, I'll get this. And then all of a sudden, like when they say "Bring Sally Down" and you're staying down there and you can't be touching the ground, right? You got
it. It's very, very cool. Yeah.
I started years ago. I saw this great video. This girl was trying to do the clean and jerk, I think it was, or snatch.
Okay.
Some exercise. And she couldn't do it. And this great motivational speaker, Eric Thomas, I was talking back about it. It's the first time I'd really listened to him. And it was a fantastic. I've tried to find the video since. So this young girl looks like she's probably late teens, early 20s. You could tell she really knew what she was doing really into fitness, but she kept failing. She was trying the same weight and kept failing, but she kept trying and trying. And this Eric Thomas is talking about it. Everybody wants to be a beast until you have to do what the beast has to do. But there's a lot more to this thing. And he's speaking. And then she finally gets at the end. And it was one of the best. I had to go searching for Eric Thomas. If everybody wants a great motivational speaker, he's fantastic. And I really watch him a lot. So when he speaks, usually if you watch his videos, he's in a full sweat. He's got a bunch of people sitting around the suits and everything. He's got nice clothes on, but he's full sweat. So when I speak sometime in front, I can get myself fired up and I get a little sweat going. I used to feel really awkward about it that I'm sweating. And I'm thinking to myself, no, like I brag about the fact that I'm sweating now when I'm talking to people. So I say, listen, I am into this. Like this is the way you've got to live your life. Get into what you're doing. And I know you live your life that way too, that whatever you're doing in life, do it all out. And I use that example as the sweating, but it is funny because I used to be like all nervous. Like, oh, my armpits are sweating or whatever. Now it's like, let it rip,
let it go.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned to you the light switch drills that Bill Brown taught me.
No.
These are great. So you can use any exercise, but let's use push-ups. Yeah. So you have so say for hockey, you have the athlete start slow, like medium pace. Start doing your push-ups. And the way it works is I'll give you a cue. That's a hockey cue. And that's when you got to really start ripping them out fast. Right. So you're going moderate. And I say, all right, Tom, puck turned over. Go. And you start ripping out. And then I'll say, hold it. And then I'll say 2-on-1 passer or shooter. All right. You got to answer me. So now you got to think.
Oh.
And then I say, okay, go back to push-ups, and you start up slow again, right?
Oh.
And then I say 3 on 2, get going. And then you got to go really fast. Then you hold it. All right. F1 goes, back in the zone. Where do you go? Right to the house. Good. And you just, so you kind of, and I tell you what, it's a great coaching drill, but it's also a great conditioning drill. But so Bill told me that's what the SEALs do. They call it a light switch drill. And it's teaching you to turn it on, turn it off, hold it, think. They'll give you, their questions a little bit different than ours. Has to do with some tactical thing, but it's really cool. Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense, right? Because when your heart rate is elevated, it's harder for you to think clearly.
So yeah, exactly. When your heart rate's elevated, you pass the frontal cortex or the executive thinking, and you go right to your middle brain. And if your middle brain, so it's interesting. I was reading this the other day. So the way we process is it goes frontal cortex, then it goes to the middle, and it's either short-term or long-term memory.
Right.
And short-term is just that. It's short-term. So if that answer in your head isn't long-term, like you haven't done it a bunch, you're not going to come up with the answer.
Very cool. It's amazing the science of the mental part of sports. We had a girls game. I guess since you and I have spoken, this is 2 weeks ago. So we had a game, and we were playing a good team, but we were playing a lot better than them. But they had a really good goaltender. So it was a 2-2 game. Late in the game, we had a power play. Our head coach called the timeout, and we had talked about a play off the face-off. I call it the Joey Mullen play. The girls thought when I said Mullen, they thought I said mullet. So they now call it the mullet. But anyways, it's one of those plays where we win the draw back, and two girls will kind of fade off to the side. Well, we have it designed as two players, but they pretend they're going to stay in front of the net, that hash mark in front of the net.
Yeah.
And then they fade off to the side. And the girl that gets the puck, the defenseman, makes it look like she's going to shoot. She slides it over for a one-timer. So I'd drawn up the play. I think the coach was been nice letting me drop the play. And we called the timeout, so it's this big suspense. The crowd was watching everything. And they did the play. And the girl that shot the one-timer scored. And she was so excited. Like, she looked over at the bench. She goes, "It worked. It worked."
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic to see, because now they say, okay, I guess, well, first of all, maybe the coach does know what he's talking about a little bit, but also we can do this stuff. Like, their confidence stuff. You can see just what's sky high. It was cool.
When Sean played high school, had one kid, Justin LaCourte, was really talented kid, real talented player. And then another kid, Kevin Walsh, who was pretty talented, who actually played Rutgers golf. I mean, he was one of those kids. He played baseball. He was a real good athlete, and he's a golf pro now. But I would put him, because he could really rip it. I'd put him on a left point on the power play because he had a right-handed shot. So I'd have LaCourte, who had a left-hand shot, top of the circle on the other side, and they'd play catch. And then Walsh would fake a one-timer from the point and make a pass, like a shot pass over to LaCourte, who would one-time it. And it worked in a game, and it was just how you drew it up. As a coach, you feel great. And for the guys or the girls, it's a phenomenal thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they've done something now that they didn't think they could do before, right?
Right.
When you
it was really a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Our head coach, Brooke Heron, has been fantastic. She does a lot of stuff. I think I mentioned this before. We use the ladders that we have on the ground.
Yeah.
And when the girls, a lot of them had not done it before, so that you could hear them saying, I can't do this. I can't do this. And then the coach was very patient. She would have them go through it. If they didn't do it right, she'd stop, show them how to do it. And then once they're doing it, and it's really helped. I can see in other areas of the game, and I think in their life, you can see now that they believe they can do things now.
Sure.
Because they've learned from that I couldn't do it before. Now I can do it. We got one girl who's fantastic. She's one of our captains, and she's a great player, a great girl, very dedicated, disciplined, and everything. But a lot of the off-ice conditioning she really never done before. And we used to kind of laugh with her. She was laughing as well that she hated running and all that. Well, now she's Miss Fitness, that she's learned how to do all this stuff. So it's great to see, man.
It's awesome.
Great from kids. Yeah, really good. Really good. So what's next for your Warriors team? So
we have a couple practices coming up, but March 18th. But before I say that, March 11th. Anybody interested who's a veteran? We're having practice, but it's a combination practice and a learn to play hockey. If you've never skated before or you've played before and you just want to get to know our program, March 11th, it's at the University, Montclair State University rink. Either hit me up here for further information, but we'd love to have you. March 18th, we're playing at the South Mountain Arena in West Orange. It's a kind of a combination. It's a charity game, but it's the day after St. Patrick's Day, so we're going to have a really Irish theme to it. We're playing West Orange Fire Department, and There's an 8:00 start at the South Mountain Arena in West Orange. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's very good. And we'll promote that some more leading up to that too. But that's great.
Thanks, Tom.
Well, it's good to see you back. You're not frozen. Man. Did you have any? This is awful. This is good. You'll laugh.
Yeah. Oh wait.
There's a
Speaking
story.
Of frozen. Yes.
I know. You see the story where some skier at the
Olympics. Listen, can I just say something, Tom?
What?
I was talking to Beth last night. I said, you make fun of me because I box and play hockey. Listen, that never happened to me. Like,
anybody that didn't see it, some skier at the Olympics, I think it was a cross country skier, froze his penis.
Yeah. And wait, but here's the best part of the whole story, Tom. It's the second time it's happened to him. I'd be after the first time, you're like, dude, I'm going to find like a summer sport or something. God.
Well, I guess apparently they wear these skin tight, like little thin suits. Because at the end they show them
aerodynamic.
The trainers are running with the blankets to warm it up, and I'm thinking.
I had a skin tight suit on once, and somebody looked down and said, did you have Chinese? Because there's a rice kernel. And then, no. It's.
Oh, when I heard that about freezes, I listen to Boomer Esiason every morning in his radio show. He's got his partner Gio, or I can't remember his first name, but they're pretty funny too. So they get into it today, talking about freezing the penis. And
well, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Tom, you sit down, you look at sports. Okay, so baseball, I get hit by a pitch. Hockey, a couple stitches, maybe a broken bone. Football, a lot of contusions. Cross country skiing, frozen penis. Nah, I don't think I'm gonna try that one.
I'm not doing it. Yeah. That's funny. Well, good to see you again. See your none of your body parts are frozen, including your whatever. You're not frozen.
Just my We're good.
All right. We'll see everybody next week.
Take care, guys.